Hey guys, I'm a private chef at the Hamptons and I'm going to show you what I make my clients for dinner. So this is actually going to be kind of an interesting video because there's a bit of a miscommunication and there are no cars at home at the moment. And usually between lunch and dinner, I go grocery shopping to get stuff, right? Usually always a car. And this is probably the worst day for this to happen because it's the day that I cleaned out the fridge. So there is technically not nothing, but there's not a lot left in the house in terms of making like a cohesive meal. So I am going to have to make a meal out of what we have left. So I'm gonna take a look around the kitchen and the pantry and see what's up. So I have ravaged the entire kitchen and pantry and this is what I have. We have my leftover risotto from this afternoon, which is very good. I can turn it into arancini, which is fried rice balls. We have some chicken sausage and we have pasta and onions and garlic, so I can make a sausage pasta. We also have tomatoes, so I can make like a red sauce with sausage and pasta. We actually weirdly have a lot of eggplants, so I thought that I could slice these and then bread them and then fry them and kind of make like a mock eggplant parmigiano without mozzarella. Some more chopped tomatoes, so I can make a sauce with that. Let's see how it goes. We don't have anything for like a salad or anything like that, so I'll have to see. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my eggplant into big planks. And the reason I'm doing this first is because I'm gonna salt the eggplant because I need to draw out the moisture, and also salting eggplant just releases some of the bitterness, and that takes about 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna get that out of the way. And you just wanna salt it on both sides and then let it sit. You know what else is crazy? Like, I was supposed to pick up salt on my grocery run because all we have left is this coarse sea salt, which is like, I mean, it's kind of like funny to use, but it's a pain because it's so coarse. Just kidding, guys. I'm not making fried eggplant because I've decided that I'm already frying the arancini. So I'm actually gonna mix two cuisines together. I'm gonna make borani banjan, which is an Afghan eggplant dish. And it's really good. It's one of my favorite dishes. Because I was thinking after like breadcrumb the eggplants and breadcrumb the arancini, I was like, that is so much breading and frying. Not necessary, way too heavy, and that's not really the way my clients would eat. I think they'll like borani banjan a lot. Borani banjan, for those who don't know, is an eggplant, onion, and tomato dish. You're supposed to deep fry the eggplant. I never make it deep fried, but you are supposed to deep fry the eggplant. I shallow fry the eggplant, and then you take it out and you kind of layer like onion and then tomato and then chili peppers. Sorry, I'm not doing a good job explaining right now because I'm a little frazzled. I'm just like trying to think what's the best way to organize. You know what? It's important to be flexible. You want rounds of onions like this. You make like kind of spicy mint yogurt sauce with it that's delicious, and it's very garlicky. You also slice tomatoes into rounds because that's what you layer it. I'm gonna get my tomato knife because it's way easier, and these tomatoes are like really ripe. So I'm in a better mindset to explain now. I'm shallow frying the eggplant, then you take the eggplants out, make a tomato sauce, which I'm gonna be using these chopped tomatoes for, and then you will layer your onion and then a layer of tomato, then your eggplant, and so on and so forth, and then you're going to cover with a lid and let it all steam together, and it becomes very, very delicious. And in the tomato sauce you put in like cumin and turmeric and things like that, which is very delicious. So I'm going to just prep everything for the borani banjan right now, and then once the eggplants are ready to fry, I will do that, and I will roll my arancini balls, and then I'll make my pasta at some point. Also thinly slicing some peppers on the diagonal. We only had 2 left in the fridge, so that's what I'm using. The water has started coming to the top of the eggplant, so I'm just gonna dab it away. And the paper towels on the bottom mean that the bottom also gets dried out. And I'm just making sure to press down on it to make sure that like the entire eggplant kind of gets seared. So you want like a nice golden brown color on each side, which is basically that. You don't have to cook it all the way because it's gonna finish cooking when you're steaming everything together. While the eggplant's frying, I'm just gonna get my arancini ready because that'll take a while as well because of all the frying. So I'm just cracking an egg in it. The reason why is because the egg will help bind it and it won't fall apart while frying. Also have some parmesan in here that I'm gonna grate into it. And I'm just gonna shape them into balls right now while that's frying, just because it's easier. And this way I chill them a bit so that they hold their shape even more while frying. I have like a little hunk of mozzarella left, which I'm just gonna put like a small piece inside each arancini. And that way when I fry it, hopefully it gets nice and melty. So I'm about yay this size, like a tennis ball. Sauteing the garlic and peppers in a little bit of oil. I'm gonna put in some cumin powder and some turmeric powder. And the reason why you want to kind of toast the spices in the oil is because the heat allows the spices to bloom, which means that it gets more fragrant and flavorful. I always try to do this off the heat because spices burn very quickly. So it's just easiest to have the pan hot but off the heat. Now, normally you'd be adding tomato paste into that and cooking it out until it's really dark red. I don't have tomato paste. And I know I said this yesterday about the ketchup. The ketchup wouldn't work well in this scenario. Ketchup works better for like Western sort of dishes, not so much this. I'm just gonna skip that step and put in the chopped tomatoes. So I'm just putting the tomatoes in, and you just want to stir it in and then let it simmer to let the flavors develop for about 10 minutes. Usually you chop fresh tomatoes and kind of cook them down, but I use the last of my fresh tomatoes to do the slices because that's more important. In terms of my pasta, I'm not going to actually make good tomato sauce because that is already quite a bit of tomato sauce. I'm going to make a sort of like sweet onion sausage pasta. If I had peppers, I would have loved to use them, but I don't. So I'm going to slice these on the diagonal. I just think it looks a lot nicer. Okay, so I'm happy with my sauce. It's kind of nice and thick. I put some salt in it. So now I'm going to layer my onions, then some tomatoes, put some salt, and then the eggplants, and then repeat. Okay, so onions and tomatoes are down. So the eggplant down, another layer of the veg and some salt. And then finally the last layer of the eggplant. And I'm just going to put some water in it so that the bottom doesn't burn. And I'm going to put a lid on it, and this is all just going to steam together. Actually, sorry guys, this video is actually so all over the place. Before I cut my sausage, now that that eggplant is simmering, I have some pasta water on to boil. I'm actually going to cut my onions because I'm going to caramelize it down. Because I'm on a limited schedule, usually I dedicate like an hour to caramelizing down my onions. I will show you a quick little trick that if you are in a time rush like I am, you can also caramelize onions almost as good. And the reason why I'm caramelizing the onions is it'll break down into a really nice luscious sauce. You know, it'll add some bulk since I don't have any like peppers or things that I can bulk out this pasta with. I do have half a bulb of fennel, which I'm gonna put in sausage, fennel, onions, duh. And it'll really sort of lift up that sweetness in sausage. Oh my God. Oh. Sorry, we live next to a horse farm. I thought that was a baby horse. It's just a dog. Sorry, I got really excited. Right. The onion, I'm gonna slice it not short way, but long way, so lengthwise. And this will just make sure that I have nice, long, thin sort of cuts. And I'll show you how I sort of quickly caramelize that. Some of you might be thinking, oh, she's about to put some sugar in our caramelized onions. No, I am not, okay? I'm not that desperate. Basically, I have my onions here. I'm putting some salt in to speed it up. Now, usually with caramelized onions, you go low heat, right? I'm on like medium heat, verging onto high. And basically, you want to kind of get some browning going on at the bottom. See right there, it's starting, right over there. And I'll show you what you do once you get some browning. So as soon as you get some browning, pour some water in there. This will help lift up all the brown stuff on the bottom. It's called deglazing. And then you mix in your onions and you just keep repeating every time it starts catching, which means the onions start like sticking to the bottom because it's browning, and it'll caramelize it much faster. So I'm starting my onions at 5:48 and I predict they'll be done by 6. And usually it would have taken an hour. Will you get the same sweetness as going it low and slow? Absolutely not, but it's a good, what's it called, substitution. Okay, so it's getting there. You want to basically let it stick to the bottom and then put water in so that you can unstick it from the bottom. My borani banjan is just bubbling away, and that's just gonna reduce down a bit because see, it's a bit thin over there, so I just want to get a bit thicker. Oh, and I have my fennel sliced, my chicken sausage sliced, and then some garlic chopped. Okay, I have my breading station for my arancini. This is seasoned flour, seasoned egg, and seasoned panko. Put salt and pepper in it. And this has also parmesan in it because why not? I have my rolled arancini here that are stuffed with mozzarella. They've been chilling in the fridge for about 30 minutes. You're gonna have a dry hand and you're gonna have a wet hand, okay? So my dry hand is gonna be the one closest to the flour. And you're gonna dip it in the flour. You wanna kind of shake the flour like that because you don't want it to be like claggy. You know, you don't want a ton of flour on there. Then with your wet hand, I'm just gonna shape it a bit. You're gonna dip it in the egg mixture. The flour helps the egg stick, And then again, you're gonna shake off the excess. It's okay if they don't stay like perfectly around, by the way, guys. Shake the excess off. And then you're gonna dredge it in the panko. Sorry, it's not panko, it's just regular breadcrumbs, but it's slightly drier. So I'm just gonna shape it back into the ball and place it onto the sheet. And once I'm done with all of those, they're gonna go back in to firm up for 20 minutes while I finish the pasta. Sorry guys, I almost forgot to show you the onion. So basically that's the color I'm gonna go with. It took about 20 minutes. Fennel, garlic, sausage, I'm gonna mix it all in and let it all cook and get nice and jammy. And in hindsight, because I'm human and I'm not perfect, I would have browned the sausage before adding it in. It's gonna be harder to get color on there, so if you make this, which I don't know if you can even follow this chaotic video, I would brown the sausage before putting in the onions. The pasta is boiling in salted water because remember, pasta needs to get seasoned from the water. So season it really heavily. People say like the ocean, some people say a little saltier than that. I mean, a little less salty than that. You want it to be salty. I almost never season my pasta sauce until after I put it in my pasta because remember, you save the pasta water and put it into your sauce while mixing the actual noodles in. And the starch from that creates a nice emulsification once you add in the cheese and the butter and all of that. Never throw away your pasta water. So I'm basically just frying my arancini in some vegetable oil. You can deep fry them, but I'm just shallow frying them. And then always remember when you're boiling pasta to make sure you keep moving it around so that the pasta doesn't stick. You don't need oil in your pasta water, you just need to keep it moving. Golden brown on one side, flip it over and let the other side get golden brown, and then I put them on a paper towel and let it drain out. I just kept those warm in an oven, and then when I was mixing my pasta, you want to shred some parmesan on top, and this is how you use your pasta water. You kind of ladle it over the parmesan with some butter and mix it in, and it creates a very nice sauce. A little tip if you want to get rid of oil that you don't want to reuse or strain, just take some foil, put it in a cup, and then pour in. If you pour this down the drain, you're gonna have some serious plumbing problems after some time. Wrap it up and throw it away. Okay, this is the borani banjan. So you basically put yogurt on the bottom and then you put the eggplant and stuff, and then you put yogurt on top and mint. And I totally forgot to show you guys what I put in the yogurt. Oh my god, I look terrible. I'm so sorry for that. It was yogurt, chopped garlic, and mint. Also, obviously, lemon and salt and some black pepper. Here's a sausage pasta with a fennel, and I topped it with some chopped up fennel fronds, the borani banjan with some mint, and then the arancini that I topped with shredded parmesan and some chopped parsley. See, very chaotic dinner, not enough color in my opinion, but everyone still really loved it. Thanks for watching.